So what else?
Anyways, you were saying... you were saying about the blocking websites, you like that it does it.
I was saying that it's a useful feature, and I don't think that it should be removed because it's certainly useful to some people. That these sites do, contain this bad stuff, and if they remove it, they'll get removed off the list pretty quickly. And if that stops, if they don't get removed off the list, if they do start blocking stuff that's not legitimate, then absolutely I will hate it. But as long as they are responsible about it, which Google has been, I have no problem with it at all. It's a good feature. It's a security feature.
It's a security feature.
If you let your website have a hacker get at it, remove it, fix it.
It's a security feature, and I like that it exists. However, how I preferred it exist more was I wish it worked like the old WebBug app used to. Because when it does this, it's identified a specific script or something, and I know what it is. There was a vulnerability. Like I said, 95% of the time plus, what it is there was some vulnerability or an exploit on the server that's hosting that site that was taken advantage of. In some cases, it's a zero-day exploit they didn't know about. Either that or they had a poor FTP password or something. There's a number of ways that a site can become compromised. How I wish it worked more was there was this great app a little over a decade ago called WebBug, and when it identified what we used to call a WebBug, which was an invisible pixel that did this stuff, it would block the pixel and put this little icon over it and go, warning, this like, ah, thing here, and it would just block that, but still load the page. How I wish this Google block thing, because when it's doing this, it's identified a specific bit of code it has a problem with. It's not saying the whole site's bad. It's saying this specific thing that the owner of the site probably doesn't even know about is bad. How I preferred these browsers address that problem was rather than quarantining the site and effectively putting them out of business until such time as they figure out what the hell happened. For those of you who are wondering what the hell happened, is how we're not here. We have those little fucking natty potato bugs here, and they are swarming, so they're kind of driving me nuts right now. Sorry about that. But I wish it would just block that piece of the page for that stuff, rather than put the whole site out of business. Because like I said, 90% of the time what causes this is it's a little mom and pop company, or some 12-year-old kid's blog, and they don't realize about this security hole, and it's like this is when they find out that they have a vulnerability and then go address it. I wish it wouldn't put them out of business, because there's speech implications, and this has actually become the easiest way to shut somebody up if you don't like them, is figure out a way to hack something like this onto your site, and then Google will do your dirty work for you of taking them offline. And I've seen it used that way. I have. I have seen poor... I dedicate my spare time to helping people who had that. I'm like, this is how they got in, fix this, yada and so forth, because they can't afford to figure out what the hell happened. And everybody deserves the right to have a website if they're paying for the hosting, whatever. So, anyways.
I was asking, is Leo cut off right now?
Leo went away. He went somewhere. He went to go eat, is what he said.
Oh, okay. When you came back. Anyway, so, yeah. You want to go into the UI lockdown?
Yeah. Well, I guess. Hopefully he comes back. Yeah. I need to fill in another part here. Bugs of doom. Okay, we talked about the App Store. What do you think about this whole... We've largely been talking about this mission control thing, which is related to this. What are your thoughts on this thing?
The App Store?
No.
Having an App Store?
No, the mission control thing.
What do you mean?
What this mission control thing is basically, it's a way. Honestly, the way I look at mission control is it's the beginning of the end for Finder on the Mac. It's a homogenization in a very iOS-y style that goes for managing your applications. It's almost an integration of Finder in the control panel, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's designed largely to be seamlessly intertied with this new marketplace thing in a way that's basically bringing the iOS lockdown and functionality to OS X. It's very clear that's where they want to go with this. Because the only things that will work with this will be the App Store things, which of course is all the Apple apps, and then anybody who goes through giving Apple a cut of the software.
I don't know if this is just me, but you are getting cut off for many seconds at a time.
Might be just you. Let's see where we got there. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but I mean, I can hear you fine. It's just you get cut off. Like, your voice just stops for many seconds at a time. It seems to be working now, but it's just, I gotta say,
Okay.
I didn't hear pretty much any of what you last said. It's something about the Finder will only be for the App Store.
Going back to mission control. What mission control is, as near as I can tell, is the beginning of the end of Finder on the Mac, in that it will, over time, replace Finder. It's this weird homogenization of Finder and the control panel for Apple-approved apps. So the new App Store apps. And a lot of them you can, they have these great full screen modes, which look pretty, but again, really only integrate right if they integrate right with mission control and everything else. It's part of the overall package of what's going on here, in that if you want the OS X experience now, you really have to be part of this marketplace we were talking about. And if you're not in that world, you're not going to... Okay, what the hell happened there? That was not on my end. Okay, that one was not on my end.
I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's just the connections that's making, your voice go out, or I don't know. But yeah, you said it was something. It was a combination of the Finder and.
Hold on a second. We just got Leo back, so I'm gonna go ahead and add him on.
I'm sure the connection that I'm on right now is not meant to be Skyped on.
Oh, I'm absolutely certain of that, but there's not like there's anything we can do on that. Okay. Assuming you can hear Leo now.
Can you hear me? James?
James?
James.
Can you hear Leo?
Hello?
James, can you hear
Hello?
me? Can you hear me, James?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. James is having technical difficulties right now. It's like he's like cut out. He's hearing every other word. We don't know what's going on there. It's like, okay. Okay. You haven't missed much because we haven't been able to get this conversation started for this part because we keep having technical snafus while you were grabbing 5 minutes of food.